Hey guys, and welcome back. Today I'm going to start a new series on how to create a responsive website using HTML5 and Bootstrap 4. So this is going to be the first part. Now let's see the website before jumping into the coding part. On the left corner we have this Navbar brand logo, and then we have some links on the right side, or we can say right aligned navigation links. You can see the hovering effect on the links, the font size increasing, and notice that the navigation bar is transparent. And then we have this banner text and this cover image. Now let's slide to the next section, about section. You can write any text here, and now notice that the navigation bar has turned into opaque. Now it has gray color, and if I scroll up you can see that the navigation bar is again transparent. So the background color of the navigation bar changes according to the position it is in. If we are on the cover image, then the navigation bar becomes transparent. When we scroll down to the about section or any other part of the website, the navigation bar becomes opaque with a gray color background. And we have this ScrollSpy as well, so it reflects the current active link in the viewport. For example, this about section is active in the viewport, so that about link in the navigation bar is active. Moving to the next part, that is the portfolio section. Portfolio navigation link is active now. See this animation of the portfolio. The images are sliding in one after the other, and we have this hovering effect on the images as well. Now let's open any one of the image. You can see that on the top left corner we have this number text, which represents the slide number or the index number of the image which is opened. The background of this image viewer is not fully opaque and it is not fully black. It is a bit of transparent. This looks a little better than having the pure black background. Then we have the close buttons on the top right corner. These are two navigation buttons for changing the image. Notice that there is no scroll bar for the body in this full screen image viewer. And also there is no navigation bar on the top, even though we have fixed the navigation bar on top of the page always. Then moving to the next part, we have this testimonials section. It has a carousel with 3 slides and with the indicator at the bottom which shows which slide is active. Then we have this contact section with input boxes where the user can input the text or the message that the user wants to send. And then on the bottom we have the footer. It's a fairly simple footer. Okay, now let's change the size of the screen to see how the website is going to behave in small screen devices. Alright, first of all, notice that the navigation bar has collapsed into a navigation button. We click on it and the links are displayed. The navigation bar is still transparent. The size of the banner text has reduced. Then the font size of the about text has also reduced. You can observe the animation that we have in this portfolio section. Open the image viewer and you can see that the images are taking the available screen size. So the size of the image in full screen view depends upon the size of the screen. If you have small screen, the size of the image is going to be small. Then we have this testimonial section. It has also scaled down. So now let's start with the coding part, and I have prepared some of the starter files which you can download from the link which is in the description below. Click on the link, open the Google Drive and download the starter files. It contains some of the important and necessary library files that we are going to use in this project, and it contains some of the images that I have used in the portfolio section. Alright, so this completes this video. I'm going to see you in the next part. Thanks for watching. After downloading the starter files, open it. The CSS folder is going to contain this animate.min.css. We are going to use this plugin for animation. Then we have this img folder which contains all of the images that we are going to use in our project. Then we have this js folder which contains the JavaScript plugins. This jquery.smoothscroll.js is the plugin that we are going to use to get that smooth scroll effect in our website, and that wow.min.js is the plugin for animation. And this is the complete screenshot of the website that we are going to build. Alright, now let's open this index.html in any text editor that you have. I am going to use Sublime Text. So this doc type defines that this is an HTML5 document. Then we have the HTML tag and the head tag and the title tag which defines the title of the website. And then we have this small link or icon that appears in the browsers tab, that small icon. And then we have this meta tag for ensuring proper rendering and touch zooming in mobile phones and other touch screen devices. And then we have link for this font awesome icons which we are going to use in the footer. These are the icons that we have for YouTube, Facebook, Instagram and other social websites. Then we have this CDN link for the Bootstrap 4. So instead of downloading these files and keeping them with our website and then host them, it is better that we use CDN links to get access to these files. This is much efficient and faster. Then we have the link to this Google font, as we are going to use these three types of font. Alright, now let's start with the HTML part. In my earlier tutorials, I have completed the entire HTML part and then moved to the CSS part and then to the JavaScript part. But this time I'm not going to complete the entire HTML for this website and then move to the CSS part. Instead, what I'm going to do is create one section of the website in HTML, then move to the CSS part to style it and complete it before we move to the next part of the website. So this is like the divide and conquer technique that we use in algorithms. This is going to be better and you will understand how we are using CSS on various part of the website. So now let's get into the body part and write ID attribute as my portfolio. Add another attribute data-spy as scroll, data-target as .navbar, then data-offset equals 60. So these attributes are used for getting that ScrollSpy in the website. I have already shown you what ScrollSpy is. Whichever part of the website is active in the viewport or on the browser's screen is reflected in the navigation bar by the active link. And we have kept this data-target as .navbar because we want this ScrollSpy to reflect on the navbar links, and this .navbar is the default class for the navigation bar in Bootstrap. Then drop down, and now let's begin with a comment. We are going to start with the header, which contains that banner text, that cover image and the navigation bar. So we are going to complete the HTML part for the header, which contains the navigation bar, the banner text and the cover image, and then we will move to the CSS part to style the header. Alright, create a header tag, write class attribute as container hyphen fluid. Container-fluid takes the width of the screen. It is an responsive class of Bootstrap. Space bg-header, and we are going to style this bg-header class later in the CSS. Then ID as home and this is the ID that we are going to use in the navigation bar for the home link, so that when we click on the home button in the navigation bar, this part of the website is scrolled up or down depending upon the part of the website opened in the viewport. Then drop down and write a comment for adding background color. Then create a div tag and give class as header -bg -gray, and we will use this class to add a little gray color to our cover image. Then drop down and let's write a comment. Navigation bar begins, and now we are going to define the navigation bar. Then drop down and create a nav tag and write class attribute as navbar space navbar -dark. This is the default class for the dark colored navbar template. Space bg -dark. This class adds the dark color to the default navbar. Space fixed -top, and this class is responsible for keeping the navbar always on top. Then write id as my -navbar. Okay, now we need to define three parts for this navbar. First part consists of the brand logo, which is on the top left corner. Then we need to define the collapse button, which replaces the navbar when navbar is collapsed. And then we need to define the navbar links, which are the main part of the navbar. So now let's write a comment first. Navbar brand logo. Then create a tag, and in hypertext reference write #home, so that when we click on the navbar brand logo, the part of the website defined by this header will be scrolled up because this header has the ID home. Then write class attribute equals navbar -brand. Then create a img tag in between these a tags. And now let's first see the name of the logo. Open this img folder. Then we have this bw-logo-t3.png. This is the logo that we are going to use. In source write img/bw-logo-t3.png. Save this. And now let's open the file in the browser so that we can observe the changes that we are making. Alright, so this is the navbar. This is the logo. Let's fit the logo in the navbar. Write style equals within double inverted commas height :35 pixels. Save it. Now let's define the collapse button. Write a comment first. Toggler button to replace the navbar when navbar is collapsed. Then create a button tag. Write class as navbar-toggler. Then write type attribute button. Then write data-toggle as collapse. Then write data-target as #navbar-content. aria-controls equals navbar-content. Then write aria-expanded false. aria-label as toggle space navigation. This aria-controls attribute is actually a relationship attribute, and it is commonly used to describe our relationship between a button and the expandable region revealed by that button. And this aria-expanded is a global attribute which is used for exactly this purpose. It takes one of the two values, either true or false. True means a section that this element denotes is currently expanded or visible, and false means the expandable section or items are currently collapsed or invisible. And this aria-label attribute is used to define a string that labels the current element. Then drop down and create a span tag and write class attribute as navbar-toggler-icon. This is the default class for that toggler icon in Bootstrap. Refresh in the browser and you can see this toggler button. Now let's define the links or the navbar content for this button. Write a comment navbar links. We defined the navbar brand logo. Then we define the toggler button, and now we are going to define the navbar links. Create a div tag and write class as collapse space navbar hyphen collapse and id as navbar hyphen content. You can observe that this is the same id which is the target for that toggler button, navbar hyphen content. So when we click on the button, it will get the data from this div element containing the id as navbar hyphen content. Alright, then create a ul tag, that is the unlisted item, and class as navbar hyphen nav space ml hyphen auto. This ml-auto class is going to right align the links. It will set the left margin in a way that the links are right aligned. Then get down and create a li tag, that is the list tag, and write class as nav-item. Then create a tag, reference as hash home, class as nav-link, and the text as home. So this will create a navbar link in the navbar with the name home, and when we click on the link, the part of the website which contains this id home will be opened up, which is actually the header section. So in the same way we are going to create the rest of the links, or we can just copy this li part and paste it few times. Alright, change this to about, this one to portfolio, then testimonial, contact. You can see the id of the header as home, which is the target for this a tag of the navbar link. Alright, let's see in the browser and click on the button, and we have all the links here. Now let's expand this navigation bar, and this is a new feature of Bootstrap 4, that if we want to expand the navbar in large screen, we need to add one more class to the nav tag, or else the navbar will always be collapsed. So let's add that class in the nav tag, where we have this class navbar. Write navbar hyphen expand hyphen md. So this will expand the navbar in screen sizes MD and above. Alright, save this, refresh it, and now let me just increase the size of the screen. And there we have all the links in the navbar expanded. So with this we have completed the navigation bar, and we can minimize the navigation bar. And let me quickly add a comment. Alright, so now we are going to create the banner text. Write a comment container for banner text, then create a div tag and write class as container. Then get down and create another div tag and write class as row. Then create one more div tag inside and write class as call-md-12. So this will take the entire width of the screen. Quickly begin with the comment banner text. Then create a div tag and write class as banner hyphen text. We will style this class later in CSS. Then create a h2 tag and write hi I am. Then create a span tag and write class attribute as decorate, and make sure that this span tag is within the h2 tag and not outside the h2 tag. And then within the span tag you can write your own name, just the first name. Then get outside the span tag and write your middle name followed by your last name, or your middle initial and your last name, whichever you prefer. And we are going to style this decorate class in CSS to give it a cursive font style. Then drop down and create a p tag, and you can write whatever text you want. Then add a br tag. This will change the line, and on new line write ampersand amp semicolon. This will add that ampersand sign. Then designer. Alright, you can see the text in the browser, and you can see that in this banner text the first name is in cursive font style. So we are using decorate class for achieving this. Or you can add the style attribute to this span tag and change the font style here itself. But it will be better if we do this in CSS using a decorate class, so that we can use this class with other elements of the website later also. Alright, so get outside this div tag containing the class banner hyphen text, and let's write a comment first. We are going to define the small button which scrolls to the about section. Then create a div tag and write class as scroll hyphen to hyphen about, then text hyphen center. Then drop down and create a tag and hypertext reference as hash about. Then create a I tag. Within these a tags, I tag is for icons. Then write class as fa space fa hyphen angle hyphen down. This is the class for that font awesome icons for getting that down angle icon. And this hypertext reference as hash about will make sure that when we click on this button, the part of the website containing ID about will be scrolled. So this completes the HTML codes for this part of the website. And before moving to the next part, I am going to style this part in CSS so that we complete this part of the website before we move to the next part. Let's get inside the style tags. And write body, and since body is an HTML tag, we don't need to start with a dot or a hash symbol. We just simply write the name of the tag and then open curly braces and write line hyphen height as 1.4, then font 400 space 15 pixels space roboto within single inverted comma, then comma sans hyphen serif. 400 is the font weight, 15 pixel is the font size, and roboto is the font family. Then letter hyphen spacing as 0.5 pixels, then color as hash 333. This is the font color, and this hex code is for gray color. Then get outside the curly bracket and write a then open curly braces. This is going to style all the links of the website. Then write outline as none. Now let's start styling the classes that we have used in the HTML, and start with this bg-header class. Write .bg-header, then background as URL, open bracket, then img/, and now let's see the name of the image, that banner image. Open the starter files, get inside the img folder, and we have this bg-banner.jpg. Alright, and refresh in the browser. So the image is behind the navigation bar. Then write no-repeat space fixed. So no-repeat will make sure that the image is not repeated again and again if the size of the image is small and the size of the screen is large. Then write background-size as cover. This will make sure that the image covers the element with which this class is used. Then write min-height as 630 pixels. This will give a minimum height to the image. Then position as relative. Refresh, and we have the image. Now let's style this header-bg-gray class, which is used to add a gray color or a gray filter to the image. Write background-color as RGBA, open bracket 0, 0, 0, 0.67, 3 zeros followed by a 0.67. The first 3 zeros represent the RGB, and the third one is the alpha, which defines the transparency. Then min-height as 650 pixels. Refresh. So we need to get rid of the padding from both sides. Write .container-fluid and padding as 0 all around. Refresh. Now let's style this Navbar class. Write .navbar. Write padding as 3 pixels, space 16 pixels. 3 pixels is for the top bottom and 16 pixels is for the left right. Drop down and write .navbar space .navbar -nav space .active. Then font -size 18 pixels. Font -weight as 600. So this is going to style the active link in the navbar, and you can see that the outermost class is navbar. Then we have this navbar-nav, and then the active class, which will be added by Bootstrap to the active link. And you can observe that the active link in the navbar is a little bit big than the rest of the links. Then write .navbar -nav, then greater than sign li, then again greater than sign a. This is going to format the a tags or the links which are inside the li tag, which are inside this navbar -nav class. Then write font -size as 14 pixels. then font hyphen weight as 400, then color as hash triple F. This is the hex code for white color. Then outline as none. Save it, refresh. Alright. Then write dot active and opacity as 1. Then dot navbar hyphen nav space dot nav hyphen item space dot nav hyphen link. So this is going to style all the links which are inside this nav hyphen link class. Then write transition as 0.3 seconds. You can see this is the navbar hyphen nav class. Then this is the nav hyphen item class. And this is the nav hyphen link class. And this e tag is going to be styled. And this transition is going to add a smooth transition effect when we hover over the links. Let's copy this and paste it and just add colon hover and add font hyphen size as 18 pixels. Save it. Observe that while hovering the font size is not changing for now. Refresh and the font size changes when we hover over the links. Let's format this toggler button. Then write dot navbar hyphen dark space dot navbar hyphen toggler colon hover comma space dot navbar hyphen dark space dot navbar hyphen toggler colon active. Then write background hyphen color as RGBA 255 comma 255 comma 255 comma 0.2. And this is the navbar hyphen toggler class used with the button. See that there is no hovering effect for now. Refresh. And now let's get rid of this blue color outline. Write transition as 0.3 seconds ease. Then let's get rid of that blue colored outline. Write button colon focus outline as none. Then background hyphen color as RGBA 255 comma 255 comma 255 comma 0.1. Alright, refresh. So this completes the styling part of the navigation bar as well. And now let's style the banner text. Write dot banner hyphen text, then border hyphen left as 5 pixels space solid space hash BE 2525. And this is going to add that red line to the left of the banner text. Then write padding as 15 pixels top bottom space 40 pixels left right. Then color as hash triple F. Then margin hyphen top as 170 pixels. Refresh. Let's style the h2 tag inside this banner text class. Write dot banner hyphen text space h2, then comma, dot banner hyphen text space p. So we are going to style the p tag as well as the h2 tag inside the banner hyphen text class. Minimize this, and you can see that this div tag contains the class as banner hyphen text, and this is the h2 tag inside it, and that is the p tag. These two are going to be styled. Write font as 400 space 40 pixels space within single inverted commas. Write Questrial QUESTRIAL comma sans hyphen serif. Refresh it in the page. Now let's style the decorate class to get that cursive font style for the first name. Write dot decorate, then font hyphen family, satisfy within single inverted commas, then comma, cursive. Now let's style the scroll to about button, and this is the class. Dot scroll hyphen to hyphen about space a space I. So this will style the I tag which is inside the a tag, which is in turn inside the scroll hyphen to hyphen about class. Then write text hyphen align as center, position as absolute, bottom as minus 140 pixels, then font hyphen size as 24 pixels, color as hash triple F, then width as 40 pixels, then height as 40 pixels. Refresh. Alright, so this has a circular border. Let's add that. Write border 1 pixels space solid space hash triple F. This is going to add a border of 1 pixel thick and white colored all around. Then line hyphen height as 40 pixels. Refresh. So we have a squared border. Then write border hyphen radius as 50%. Refresh it, and the border is circular now. Let me just copy this dot banner hyphen text space p and write line hyphen height as 1.4 just to increase the line height in the text which are defined under the p tag. Looks perfect now. So this completes this part of the website, that is the header part of the website, and we have created the navigation bar, the cover image as well as the banner text, and now we need to start with the about section that I am going to do in the next part. Thanks for watching. Alright, now let's start with the about section. Begin with the comment. About section begins, then about section ends, then create a section tag, then write id as about, then class as section hyphen padding. A section tag defines sections in a document such as chapters, headers, footers or any other sections of the document, And this section tag is new in HTML5. It was not there in the previous version of the HTML. Or in simple word, we can say section tag means that the content inside it is grouped, that is relates to a single theme and should appear as an entity in an outline of the page, whereas a div tag on the other hand does not convey any meaning aside from any found in its class, language or title attributes. And this id as about is the same id that we have used in the navigation link for the about link, so that when we click on that about link in the navigation bar, this part of the website is going to be scrolled up or down depending upon the position of the website currently opened in the viewport. So create a div tag and write class as container, then get inside and create another div tag and write class as row. Then get down and create one more div tag and write class as call-md-6 space text hyphen right. So this will right align the text, and this call-md-6 will make sure that this div tag will get the half of the available width of the screen. Then get down and create a h2 tag and write class as title hyphen text. So this is going to be the title for this section. Then write meet space break tag, that is br. Then create a span tag and class as decorate. So we are using this decorate class again to give this text that cursive font style. Then you can write your first name within the span tag and then the rest of your name outside the span tag. Then get outside the h2 tag and then the div tag. And since we have used call-md-6, so half of the screen width is still available. So create a new div tag and write class as call-md-6 so that totals up to a 12, which is the total width of the screen. Then write text hyphen left. So this will make sure that the text is left aligned within this div tag. Then write div tag and class as about hyphen text. And let me just copy the text from this example page. You can write any other text that you like. And one more thing, while writing codes, it will be better if you use indents so that you get an idea where the tags are closing. Alright, let me paste, close the p tag and then write another p tag here. Change the line by creating p tag and writing ampersand nbsp semicolon. This will change the paragraph. Change the paragraph down below also. Then create a ul tag, that is the unlisted item. Then write class as about hyphen list. Then create a li tag and write any dummy text. Then copy this entire li tag and paste it 2 times. Alright. So this completes the HTML part for the about section, and now let's move to the CSS. Let's start with this section hyphen padding class. Write padding as 60 pixels top bottom and 0 pixels left right. Refresh. Alright. write hash about. This is the ID for the about section. Write background URL img/. Then we are going to use this image about-banner.jpg space no repeat. Then background-size cover. Then margin-bottom as -3 pixels. Alright, refresh. Now let's style this title-text class. Padding 0 space 25 pixels space 0 space 0. So this will add 25 pixels of padding in the right. Then border-right as 5 pixels space solid space hash BE2525. This is the hex code for the red color. So this will add a red line next to the title text. Then font-size as 24 pixels. Alright. Then .about-list space li. This will style the li tag inside this about-list class. Then write padding as 5 pixels top bottom and 0 pixels left right. Then font-size as 18 pixels. And also you can observe that while this about section is opened in the viewport, the about link in the navbar is displayed as the active one. Let's style this p tag inside this about.text class. Light color as #444. Let's minimize this, and we have completed the about section as well. Now let's move to the portfolio section where we are going to create the thumbnail images. Begin with the comment. Portfolio section begins. Then portfolio section ends. Then create a section tag and write class attribute and the value as section-padding. Then ID as portfolio, and this is the same text that we have used as the target for the portfolio link in the navigation bar. Then get inside and create a div tag and write class as container. Write a comment title text. Create a div tag and write class as row. Then get inside and create another div tag with class call-sm-12. Then create a h2 tag and write class as title space text-center. Then write the text as let's. Then create a span tag and give the class as decorate and write the text within span tags as CSEE. So this text is going to be in cursive font style. Then get outside the span tags and write my work. See where this div tag with class row ends, and then get outside that div tag. You can see the title of the portfolio section. Then create a div tag. Outside the div tag containing the class row, write class as container. Then get inside and create another div tag with id as my-grid. Then class as grid-padding. Let me just quickly add a comment. Then get inside and create another div tag with class row. Then again create a div tag with class call-sm-4. And since we are going to have 3 columns of images, let me create 2 more div tags with the same class call-sm-4 so that we get a total of 12. Alright, so the first div tag is going to be the first column, the second div tag will be the second column, and the third one will be the third column. Then get inside the first div tag with the class call-sm-4 and create a div tag with class row. Then within this div tag, create a img tag and write source as img/. Then you can see the name of the images. Alright. Then write portfolio 01.jpg space class as fit-image. We are going to style this class in the CSS so that we are able to fit these images properly in the image grid. Then space on click attribute, then write open modal, open bracket, close it, semicolon, current slide, within bracket write 1. What we want is that when we click on this image, this open modal function should be executed, which we are going to define later in the JavaScript. And after that we want this current slide function to be executed, or in simple word, clicking on this image will open up the full screen image viewer or the full screen slideshow. And this image is going to be the first image because we are giving it the slide index of 1. Save it, refresh it in the browser. Let's see the sequence of image that I have created in the example web page so that we can follow the same sequence. Copy this entire div tag with class row containing this img tag. Copy this one and paste it 3 more times so that we get 4 images. And the first image is the 01, the second one is the 04, the third one is the 05, and the fourth one is the 01. Alright, now let's change the index. First one is the first, then second, then third, and then fourth. Alright, refresh, and all the 4 images are there. So let's copy these 4 div tags defining the 4 images and paste it inside the div tag containing this class call-sm-4. Paste it. Let's change the index before I forget. 5, 6, 7, 8. Copy this. Paste it. Change this to 9. Now let's change the images. The first one to 02, then 04, 05, 01, and then 03. Then copy all these 5 div tags and paste them inside this one so that we have 5 images in the last column. Let me just quickly add some comments. Then let's change the index. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, Then let me just copy this last image, paste it, and this one to 15. Alright, so we have 15 images in total. First one is 4, then 1, then 2, then 3, then again 2, and last one is 5. And so we have completed the HTML part and we have defined all of the images. Now let's move to the CSS and start styling them. Write hash portfolio because that is the ID of the portfolio section. Then background hyphen color as hash FO F1 E9. Let's refresh. The images are on top of each other right now. They are sort of overlapping. So now let's fix that by styling this fit-image class because we have used this class with all of the images. Dot fit-image, then height as 100%, then width as 100%. Refresh. Alright. Now let's style the title. Dot title font-size 24 pixels, margin-bottom 50 pixels, and now let's style the image grid and add some padding around the images. Write hash my-grid and margin-top 50 pixels. Refresh. Alright. Then write dot grid padding 0 space 8 pixels. Alright. Padding is there on the left and on the right. Now let's add padding around the images. Write dot grid padding because that is the container class. Then space img, which is the image tag. You can see this is the grid padding class and these are the img tags inside it. Margin bottom 15 pixels. Transition and 0.8 seconds ease. Copy this, paste it, then add colon hover. We can remove this margin-bottom property and add box-shadow 0 space 10 pixels space 40 pixels space 0 space RGBA open bracket 0, 0, 0, 0.5, that is 3 zeros followed by a 0.5, and the last one is the alpha, which defines the transparency. Now let's refresh and you can see we have this little bit of space below all the images, and also we have this hovering effect. Now let's add padding to the sides. Write dot call sm-4 padding right 30 pixels because the images are aligned in separate columns. Now it is looking just like the one we have in our example web page. So with this we have completed the portfolio section as well, and now we need to start with the image viewer or the full screen slideshow using Modal. Alright, let's start with the comment. Modal for full screen image view begins. Then let's start with the div element and ID as my modal, and let's call it modal because modal is the default class for modal in Bootstrap. Then get below and let's first define the close button, which is going to be responsible for closing the modal. Then let's create a span tag and let's call it close. This is also a special class of Bootstrap with some sort of styling for the close button. Then write on click attribute and the function to be executed is close modal. This is going to close the modal and we will define this function in JavaScript. Then ampersand times semicolon, this is the code for cross symbol. Then let's define the content for this modal, which are the images. Create a div tag and let's call it modal hyphen content. Now let's define all of the images one by one. Create a div tag and class as my slides, and we are going to use the same class with all of the images which we are going to define subsequently. Alright, create a div tag for the index number and write class as number text, then the text as 1 by 15 because this is going to be the first image out of the 15 images that we will define. Then create a image tag and the source as img/, and be careful that we need to follow the same sequence of images that we have followed in the image grid section. So the sequence is 1451 portfolio 01.jpg, and let's give it a class as portrait-image. We are going to use this class to resize the image to fit the viewport or the visible part of the browser so that we don't get scroll bars or something and the image does not get overflow. So this completely defines one image. Now let's copy this div tag and paste it so that we can get the rest of the images by making appropriate changes. This is the second image, portfolio 04. This is a landscape image, so we are going to use a different class for this one. Let's call it landscape-image. Let's copy this, paste it. Let's create the rest of the images first and then we can make the changes. Alright, 1451, and this portfolio 01 is the portrait image. Then change the index numbers. Alright, then after that we have 24513. Portrait-image. Then the sequence is 4 1 2 3 2 5. The one is a portrait image, rest of them are landscape. So this completes all of the images. Now let's define the control buttons or the next and the previous buttons. Create a link tag, that is a tag. Let's call it as prev. This is the previous button. Then on click attribute, change slides in brackets -1 because this is going to open the previous image. Then the text as ampersand hash 10094 semicolon. This is the code for that left arrow. In the same way, let's define the next button, and this time with the change slides function, write 1 and not -1 because we want the next image to be opened when we click on this button. And the code as ampersand hash 10095 semicolon. So this completes the HTML part for the modal. Let's start with the CSS. Let's reference the div tag containing the modal by writing .modal because this is the class that we have used with it. And display as none because we want the modal to be hidden until and unless we click on it. Position as fixed. Z index as 1 because we want the modal to be on top of other elements. Padding as 5 pixels top bottom and 0 pixels left right. Then the position for modal left 0, then top 0 so that the modal starts with the top left corner. Width as 100% and height as 100%. Overflow auto. We will try our best to resize the images in a way that we do not get overflow, but in case if there is overflow, we need to have that scroll bar. Background -color. In simple words, RGB part has defined black color and 0.8 refers to the level of opacity. And since we have defined the basic class of the modal, now let's start with the JavaScript to make the modal functional so that we can open up the modal and see it while we make changes to the slides of the modal. So it is better to have the modal functional before making any styling to it so that we can see the styling parts as we go on making the changes. Then let's start with the open modal function. This is the first function that is going to be executed when we click on any of the image grid. Get below all of the codes and create a script tag. Then let's start with the open modal function. So we are going to get this task done by changing the display property of the modal that we have just set to none in the CSS. So write document.getElementById, open brackets within single quote my-modal.style.display inline-flex. So this is going to make the modal visible, and you can see this is the display as none property that we have stated in the CSS, and the JavaScript is just going to change this property to inline-flex, which will in turn make the modal visible. Now let's define the close modal function, which is responsible for closing the modal. And we are going to achieve this by doing exactly the opposite that we have done in the open modal function. We are going to change the display property to none again. Write document.getElementById, open bracket within single quotes my-modal. This will get the element which has this id, which is our modal, and then change the display property to none. So the modal becomes invisible again. Now let's define a variable slide index JS and initialize to 1. Now let's call the show slides function by passing the value of the slide index JS variable that we have just defined in the previous line. In short, calling this show slides function with the initial value of 1 is going to hide all of the slides initially. Now let's define a function to fulfill the task of the next and the previous buttons. Create a change slides function because that is the function that we have used in the next and the previous buttons on click attribute. Then call the show slides function, passing the value of the slide index JS variable and incrementing it or decrementing it depending upon the button which was clicked. For example, if the next button was clicked, then the value of the slide index JS will be incremented by 1, and if the previous button was clicked, then the value of this slide index JS will be decremented by 1, and then the show slides function will be called with that value of slide index JS. Then let's display the image whose thumbnail was clicked, and you can observe that when a thumbnail is clicked, two functions are getting executed. First is the open modal, which is responsible for opening the modal, and then second one is the current slide, which signifies which image has to be opened up in the modal. So let's define current slide function. Alright, then call show slides function with the value of the slide index JS as n, and n is the parameter that was passed on by the image. For example, if the image grid of the first image is clicked, then this current slide function will be executed by passing the value 1. And now let's define the main function for operating this image viewer, the show slides function. Let's create a temporary variable I. Now first of all, let's get all the elements which has this class as my-slides so that we have a count of the total number of slides or the images. Right, variable slides JS equals document.getElements by class name, open bracket, within double quotes, my-slides. So this variable slide JS is going to get all of the elements with this class mySlides, and you can observe that we have used this mySlides class with all of the images that we have defined inside the model. And now we need to take care of two conditions. First is the overflow and second is the underflow. Overflow is when we are on the last image and we click on the next image again. In that case, we want the first image to be displayed again. This is the overflow condition. If n is greater than slides js.length, or the slide which is to be opened is greater than the total number of slides present in the model, then change the slide index JS to 1, that is open the first slide. And now let's take care of the underflow condition, that is if we are on the first slide and we click on the previous button, we want the last image to be opened up again. If n is less than 1, that is if we are on the first slide and we click on previous, n will become 0, which is less than 1. Then slide index JS equals slides js.length. So in that case, we want the last image to be opened up. Now let's hide all of the images initially. Create a for loop. I equals 0 and I is less than slides js.length, so that I will run once for each of the images. Let's say we have 15 images, so I will run for 15 times. Then I plus plus slide js brackets I dot style dot display as none. Then let's show the only slide which has to be opened up because of the click on the corresponding image grid. Write slides js in brackets slide index js -1 dot style dot display equals block. We have written that -1 because in JavaScript we start the counting from 0. In HTML we have started the counting from 1. So this completes the JavaScript part as well. So the model is not opening up. Let me check if I have made any spelling mistakes. Okay, first of all, let me close this comment out. And secondly, in this get element by ID, E, B and I has to be capital, and same for this close modal function, make this B as capital. Alright. Now refresh in the browser and the modal is opening up. And we have scroll bars. First one is for the modal and the second scroll bar is for the body. Alright. And we have this navigation bar on top of the modal. Now let's style this modal content class. Right, position as relative, then margin as auto. This margin as auto is going to keep margin in a way that this modal content is in center. Then padding as 0, width as 85%, max hyphen width as 1200 pixels, border as none. Save it. We can see the next and the previous buttons, and the close button is most probably hidden under the navigation bar. Then background color, we want the background color to be transparent. Alright, looks better. Now let's style the my slides class that we have used with all of the images. Now let's center align the images by styling that my slides class. Alright, and now let's resize the images so that we don't get scroll bars and the images are within the viewport and not greater than the viewport. And we have used two classes with all of the images, either this portrait image or the landscape image. So now let's style the portrait image. Write dot portrait hyphen image and then height as 98 vh, and this vh is a relative length unit, and 1 vh means the element will get the 1% of the height of the viewport, and viewport is the browser's window size, and we have used 98 vh, which means this portrait hyphen image will get 98% of the height of the window size or the viewport. Alright, refresh. The image is resized. Anyway, now let's style the landscape hyphen image class to resize the landscape images as well. And for the landscape image, we are going to use width property, because for landscape image we have wider images. So write width as 76 VW. VW is also a relative length unit, and 76 VW means it will get 76% of the width of the viewport. Alright, refresh. And you can see the images are resized well for the slideshow or the full screen image viewer. Now let's style the close button. Write dot close, color as hash triple F, white color, position as absolute because we want the close button to be there always, irrespective of the size of the screen or the size of the images. Top as 10 pixels, so it will be at a distance of 10 pixels from the top of the viewport. Right as 25 pixels, so that it will be at a distance of 25 pixels from the right of the viewport. Then font hyphen size as 48 pixels. Font hyphen weight bold, and transition 0.3 seconds ease. The close button is still hidden behind the navigation bar. Alright, now let's style the hovering effect of the close button. Color as hash triple F, we want the same white color. And text decoration as none because we don't want the close button to get underlined when we hover over it. And cursor as pointer. Now let's style the next and the previous buttons. Cursor as pointer, position as absolute, top as 50% so that it will be in the middle of the screen, and width as auto, padding of 16 pixels all around, margin hyphen top minus 50 pixels, color as white or hash triple F. Still not visible. It is somewhere here. Let's override any color defined for this. Write exclamation mark important. This will override any color property defined before this in Bootstrap. Then font hyphen weight bold. You can see the buttons now. Then font hyphen size as 3 em. Em is also a relative length unit. And transition as 0.3 or let's say 0.6 seconds ease. And border hyphen radius 0 space 3 pixels space 3 pixels space 0. And user hyphen select as none. Let's refresh. And the buttons are pretty big and fine. Now let's style the next button on the right side. right as 0. This will position the right button on the right side. Then border hyphen radius as 3 pixels space 0 space 0 space 3 pixels. Refresh. Perfect. I think I have misspelled the portrait-image class while defining the images in the model. We will see that after this. Let's first style the hovering effect of these two buttons. Dot next colon hover dot pre colon hover. Background hyphen color RGBA 0, 0, 0, 0.8. So the RGB part defines our black color and the alpha defines opacity. Hovering effect is also fine. We are still getting the scroll bar because of the navigation bar on top of the image viewer. Anyway, let's style the number text, which shows the index number of the images. Color as gray, because the gray will be visible if the background is white or black. And font hyphen size as 18 pixels. Font family as Lato. Sans serif. Padding as 8 pixels top bottom. 50 pixels left right. Position as absolute. Top 0 left 10 pixels. And since we have defined this number text inside the my slides class, so it will be at the top of the my slides class and at a distance of 10 pixels from left. I think it is getting blocked by the navigation bar, but anyways you can see that the images are well scaled and we are not getting any scroll bars. And now let's correct the spelling of the portrait in rest of the images. Now let's hide the body scroll bar while the modal is opened, so we can get this task done by adding a line in this open modal function. So get inside it and write document.body.style.overflow as hidden. So this will hide the scroll bar while we are in the image viewer or the modal. Alright, you can see that we don't have any scroll bar now for the body. But observe that even after closing the modal, the scroll bar is not back visible. We have to take care of that also. And we can do this task by adding one line in this close modal, so that when the modal is closed, the body scroll bar should be visible again. So write document.body.style.overflow auto So this is going to make the scroll bar back visible after closing the modal. So the open modal function is performing two tasks. First is to open the modal by changing the display property and then hiding the body scroll bar. Similarly, the close modal function is performing just the opposite of the open modal function. First of all, it is changing the display property of the modal to make it hidden, and then it is making the body scroll bar visible again. And now let's hide this navigation bar while the full screen image viewer or the modal is opened. So we are going to get this done by adding a line in the open modal function. So this open modal function will perform three tasks. First is to open the modal by changing the display property of the modal, then hiding the body scroll bar, and then hiding the navigation bar. Write document.getElement by ID within single quote my-navbar, which is the ID for the navigation bar, then .style.display as none. Refresh. Even after closing the modal, we are not getting back the navigation bar, so we have to make the navigation bar visible after closing the modal. We have to perform the opposite of three tasks that is done by the open modal function using this close modal function. First is to close the modal by changing the display property to none, then showing the body scroll bar, and then displaying the navigation bar again. Write document.getElement by ID within single quotes my-navbar .style.display as flex. Alright, we have the navigation bar. Open the image viewer, close it, and the navigation bar is visible again, as well as the scroll bar for the body. So with this we have successfully completed the full screen image viewer. All the slides are working, all the buttons are working, the images are resized well so that it is not getting overflown. And the next thing that we need to do is to create this testimonial section and a carousel. Alright, now let's start with the testimonial section. Create a section tag and let's write ID as testimonial, and then get inside and create a div tag and let's call it container-fluid. And this container-fluid is a responsive class of the Bootstrap, and it takes the entire width of the screen. or the entire width of the viewport. Then get inside and create a div tag with class as row. Then again get inside and create one more div tag. Let's give this div tag the entire width of the screen, that is, let's give this div tag all the available 12 columns. So write col-md-12, then create a h2 tag, that is the heading tag, and write class as text-center to center align the text, then space title, then space text-dark. Text-dark is going to change the color of the text. Then get inside and create a strong tag. This is going to create a bold text, and write the text as testimonials, which is the title for this section. Anyway, get inside and now let's start with the carousel. Create a div tag and let's give it class as carousel space slide, and write id as my-carousel, then data-ride as carousel. Then get inside and create a ordered list tag or an OL tag, and write the class as carousel-indicators. These are the indicators on the bottom of the slide which refers to the current active slide. Then get inside and create a list tag, that is the li tag, and write data-target attribute as hash my-carousel. So these indicators are going to get the data from the my carousel. Then data-slide-2 as 0, because this is going to be the first slide. Then copy this entire li tag and paste it twice. Alright. Then let's add a active class and let's make the middle one as the active slide. And 0, 1, 2. Alright. Now let's create a div tag. So a carousel has three main important parts. First is the carousel indicators, then we have this carousel inner part, and the third part is the carousel control buttons. Carousel inner. So anyway, now let's get inside and create a div tag and write class as carousel-item space text-center. This will create one slide in the carousel. Let's copy this and paste it twice so that we get 3 slides in total. Let me just quickly drop some comments. Alright. Before we forget, make the second slide as the active one, because we have chosen the second slide in the carousel indicator to be the active one. Alright, now let's define the slides completely. Get inside the first slide and create a div tag and write class as img-box space border space rounded-circle. This rounded-circle is going to create a circle, and border class is going to get border around it. And this img-box is the class that we are going to use in CSS to resize the images. m-auto, this will keep the margin as auto all around. Then get inside and create a image tag, that is the img. Then write the source as img/profile-1.jpg. You can open the starter files, see the spelling of the files or the spelling of the images. class as d-block. This is going to change the display property of this image to block. Then w-100. This is going to keep the width as 100%. Then space rounded-circle. This is going to make the image circular. This Bootstrap 4 has some very handy and very useful classes that we can use throughout the HTML part. We don't even have to open the CSS to set these properties. We can set them right away in the HTML. Then get outside the div tag and create a heading tag, h5 tag, and write class as py-1. This is also a very handy feature of Bootstrap 4. We can use this class to add one rem padding on the top and the bottom. As I have told you earlier, this rem is also a relative length unit. Then space my-1, and this is going to set the margin top and bottom to 1 rem. In simple words, this y signifies that the padding is going to be along the y-axis, or the margin is going to be set along the y-axis, that is top and bottom. Then get inside and create a strong tag. This will create bold text. Then write class as text-warning, and this class has a special font color attributed to it, text-uppercase. This is going to transform the text to uppercase. Then write any name. Create one h6 tag. Write the class as text-dark, space m-1. This m-1 is going to set margin of 1 rem all around. Then write some text. Alright, then drop down and create a paragraph text or a p tag. Let's write class as pt-3 space text-white. So you can see how easy it is to describe the color of the text or padding or margin in Bootstrap 4. And let me just copy some dummy text. And paste it here. So with this we have completed one slide. You can see where this div tag ends. Copy everything that is inside this div tag, because this div tag is defining one slide and we have already defined the rest of the two slides. We just need to define the content of these slides. You can see we are starting from this div tag containing the class img-box up till the ending of the paragraph text, and then paste them in between the div tags of the second slide as well as the third slide. And let's just make the necessary changes. Then paste it within the div tags of the third slide and change it. And we can just minimize this carousel-inner part. Then let's create the previous and the next buttons. Create a link tag, that is the a tag, and the link as hash my-carousel, and class as carousel-control-prev. These are some predefined classes of Bootstrap, so we need to have them. There is no alternative. If you want to use the carousel of Bootstrap, you have to use these classes. Then role as button, data-slide attribute, and the value as prev. Then get inside and create a span tag, class as carousel-control-prev-icon. This is going to define the left angle icon that we have seen in the carousels. Then aria-hidden as true. Then get down and create one more span tag, class sr-only, and the text as previous. According to the Bootstrap's documentation, this sr-only is used to hide information intended only for screen readers from the layout of the rendered page. So screen readers will have trouble with your forms if you don't include a label for every input. So for these inline forms, we can hide the labels using the sr-only class. Anyway, this has created one previous button. We can copy this entire A tag and paste it and change all the prev to next. Then the text to next. So this has completed the carousel as well. You can refresh and you can see the carousel, and we have the text as well. The carousel is functional and we just need to style it. So get inside the style tags. Let's start with the testimonial section. Write hash testimonial space dot container hyphen fluid. This is going to reference that container hyphen fluid class inside the testimonial section. Padding as 100 pixels all around. Then background color as hash C0 C0 BA. This is a variant of a gray color. Alright. Let's start by resizing the image. Right, dot carousel hyphen inner space dot carousel hyphen item space dot img hyphen box. This is going to reference the img-box class that we have used in the div tag containing the images. Width as 135 pixels, height as 135 pixels. Then write dot carousel hyphen control hyphen pre and left as -100 pixels. So the previous button is already at the very beginning of its container, that is the carousel hyphen inner class. By changing the left property to -100 pixels, we are going to place the previous button a little bit more to the left. Similarly, we are going to keep the next button a little more to the right. Alright. And now let's position the carousel hyphen indicators. So let's reference them. Top 330 pixels. Alright. So we have completed up till the testimonial section. And now we need to start with the contact section. So let's start with the comment. Contact section begins, then contact section ends. Then get inside and create a section tag, and let's write class as section hyphen padding. then ID as contact, then get inside and create a div tag, and then let's write the class as container, then get inside again and create a div tag and write the class as contact -sec space text -center, then create a h2 tag and write the text as want to, then create a span tag and write the class as decorate, and we are using this class to add that cursive font style, and then write the text as higher within these span tags, then get outside the span tag and write me and a question mark, then get down and create a paragraph text, and then let me just copy the text from the web page. Alright, so this is the title for this section. And now let's create the input forms. Create a div tag and write the class as container, then get inside and create a form tag, write class as contact form with a capital F, the method as post, role as form, get inside and create a div tag and write class as form-group, then create a input tag, type as text, name as name, class as form-control, placeholder name. Whatever text we write inside this placeholder attribute is visible in the form initially. Let's see in the browser. First input box. Let's create some more. Then write the data-rule. This is going to make sure that at least 4 characters are typed. So this has created one input box or input form. We can copy this entire div block and paste it few times to create some more input boxes. Then change the name attribute to email, type as email, and the placeholder text as email, data-rule as email, and this third one is the subject, placeholder text as subject, and the last one as message. Please write something for us. Alright, but we want that last box to be bigger than the rest of the boxes. So instead of using our input tag, we can use a text area tag here. And add one more attribute, rows, and the value as 5. Alright. Then let's create the button, that submit button. Create a div tag and write the class as text-center. Then create a button tag and write the class as btn space btn-primary space btn-lg. btn-lg is going to create a large sized button, and btn-primary will get the default styling for the button. Type as submit, the text as send message. Alright. So this completes the HTML part, and now let's style this contact section. Get inside the style tags, write dot contact hyphen sec space h2. This will reference the h2 tag inside the contact section. Then font size as 28 pixels, color as #FFF, font weight as 600, padding as 15 pixels top bottom and 0 pixels left right. So this is the title which is going to be styled. Alright. Then write dot contact hyphen sec space p. Then color as #FFF, font weight as 600 and padding as 15 pixels top bottom, 0 left right. #contact, this is the ID for that contact section, width as 100% and background color as RGBA 8,7,7,0.9. First three numbers are for the RGB part and the last one describes the opacity. Alright. Then write section #contact space div dot container. This will reference the container class, which is the sibling of the div tag inside the section containing the ID as contact. Padding is 5% all around. Alright. This is the section and this is the ID, and both of these are siblings. This is the div and this is the container. These two are siblings as well. Then write #contact space dot btn hyphen primary. This is going to reference the button inside contact section. Then background color as BE2525. Border as 1 pixels all around space solid space BE2525. Copy this entire block, paste it below and remove border property, add :hover and change the background color to a little dark red 721616. Alright. Let me just remove this font weight in the paragraph text and write the font size 18 pixels and padding as 16 pixels space 0 space 24 pixels. This is just to make it look exactly the same as the one that we have in our example web page. Alright, so this completes the contact section as well, and we need to start with the footer now. So let's start with the footer. Create a footer tag. Write class as text-center. Get inside and create a div tag, and let's call it container. Then get inside and create another div tag and write class as d-flex, then space flex-wrap, then space justify-content-center. This d-flex will change the display property of this div tag to flex, and this flex-wrap will make sure that in small screens the content are wrapped onto the next row or column according to the flex direction. And this justify-content-center will make sure that the contents are center aligned horizontally. Then get inside and create a div tag and write the class as mr-sm-auto space p-2. This p-2 will add 2 rem of padding all around it. This mr-sm-auto class will left align the columns in SM and higher screen sizes or above 768 pixels screen size, and below the SM or below the 768 pixels screen width size the columns will be center aligned. Because of that justify-content-center class that we have written in the parent div class. Then get inside and write the text. Then create one more div tag and class as credits. Then designed by. Then create a link tag and you can write any link that you want. And then target attribute as _blank. This will make sure that the link is opened in a new tab. And see where this div tag is closing. Get outside it and create another div tag and write the class as p-2. This will add 2 rem of padding all around it. Then create a ul tag, class as social-list. Then get inside and create li tag. Then create a tag within this li tag, and then create a I tag within this a tags. So the hierarchy goes like this. First we have this li tag, then we have e tag inside it, and then we have I tag inside this a tag. This I tag is used for creating icons. Then write the class as fa space fa-Twitter, and this is the default class for getting that Twitter icon in font awesome icons. Then copy this entire li tag and then paste it. Then change this to Facebook, then YouTube, and then Instagram. Alright. See where this div tag with the class d-flex closes. Get outside it and create a div tag and write class as row text-center, then d-block. This will change the display property to block. And then create a tag and the link as #my-portfolio, and this my-portfolio is the ID for the body. and title as to space top. Then create a I tag and write class as fa space fa hyphen angle hyphen up, and you can see the ID here. Alright, and let's start styling the footer. Write footer padding as 40 pixels top bottom, 0 pixels left right. Then background color as hash f2 f3 eb footer space a, color as be2525. Then footer space a colon hover, text hyphen decoration as none to remove that underline when we hover over the links. Alright, then dot social hyphen list space li, transition 0.3 seconds, ease, opacity as 0.5, display as inline hyphen block, and margin bottom as 0. Then dot social hyphen list space li space a. This will style the links which are inside this social hyphen list class. Font hyphen size as 28 pixels, margin hyphen right as 15 pixels. Alright, dot fa hyphen angle hyphen up, font size as 28 pixels, color as hash 000, width as 40 pixels, and border as 1 pixel solid, hash 000, and line height as 40 pixels. Then border radius as 50%. This will make the border circular. So with this we have completed the footer as well. So I am going to add the smooth scroll effect using a jQuery plugin. and it will be out of the scope of this video tutorial to get inside that jQuery plugin and explain you how this smooth scroll effect is working. It is really very tough and it is out of scope of this video tutorial. Get inside the script tag again, and before starting of the open modal function, we can just add one line to start that smooth scroll effect. Dollar, open brackets within single quotes, HTML, comma, body, close bracket, dot smooth scroll, S of scroll as capital, brackets, 500 and semicolon. And then we need to add the link to that JavaScript plugin. It is better to keep the link in the body part, but just to make this look simple and easy, I have tried to put all the links together in the head tag. So I am just going to add a link to that smooth scroll plugin. Create a script tag and write the source as JS / jQuery dot smooth scroll dot JS, and this plugin is already in that starter files folder. If you want, you can open that folder and check it there. Alright, let's see in the browser, refresh. And we have the smooth scroll effect as well. You can click on the links and the part of the website containing the anchor elements are scrolled smoothly. So that is all for this video. Alright, so now let's make this navigation bar transparent, and we are going to make the navigation bar transparent while that header image or the cover image is displayed, and then we will make the navigation bar opaque with a gray color once we have scrolled past that cover image. So type variable navcall equals dollar open bracket within double quotes dot navbar hyphen dark, variable dark equals within double quote bg hyphen dark. Create third variable banner image height equals dollar open bracket within single quotes hash home, then get outside the bracket dot height brackets and then semicolon. So the first variable navcall will get the element which has this class navbar and navbar hyphen dark, and the element which has these classes are the nav tag, that is the main navigation bar tag, and then we have created this variable dark and saved the text bg hyphen dark, and bg hyphen dark is the class which is responsible for getting that dark color to our navigation bar. So we are trying to make the navigation bar transparent by removing this bg hyphen dark class while the header image or the cover image is visible in the viewport, and we want this bg hyphen dark class to be added to the navigation bar when we have scrolled past that cover image or the header image. And the third variable banner image height will get the height of the cover image. Then write navcall dot remove class in bracket dark. So we have initially made the navigation bar transparent by removing the bg hyphen dark class. In simple words, this statement will make the navigation bar transparent, And then we need to make sure that the navigation bar stays transparent only up till that banner image or that cover image is visible in the viewport. And for that we are going to use a small if statement. This scroll function will be executed every time the page is scrolled up or down. This whole function will be executed again and again. And whenever this function is executed, this if statement will be checked. And basically this if statement is checking if the top of the viewport is greater than the height of the banner image or the cover image or not. And we have got the height of the banner image using that banner image height variable. If the top of the viewport is greater than the height of the banner image, which means we have scrolled past that banner image or that cover image, so we want the navigation bar to be dark colored, so we will add that bg-dark class to it. And if the condition is false, that is the top of the viewport is not greater than the banner image, or which means we have not scrolled past that banner image, then we will remove that bg-dark class from the navigation bar to make it transparent. So now let's open the browser, refresh it, and you can see that the navigation bar is transparent now. And when we scroll past that banner image, the navigation bar has become dark colored. And if you scroll very slowly, you can actually see the transition from being transparent to getting dark colored. The navigation bar is transparent even after getting out of the banner image. So we can subtract some of the pixels in the if condition to make the transition even better. So get inside this if condition, add -50 to the banner image height. So it will remove 50 pixels from the height of the banner image in this condition. And you can observe the transition effect here. So by removing 50 pixels, we have made sure that the navigation bar does not remain transparent after scrolling past this cover image. So now let's add animation to our web page, and for this we are going to use another plugin. So get inside the head tag again, create a link tag and write the link as css/animate.min.css. Then create a script tag and write source as js/wow.min.js. Alright, then create another script tag and get inside and write new space wow, all in capital, open and close brackets, .init, open and close brackets, semicolon. And you need not worry about these files because they are already in the starter files folder that you might have downloaded. So now we need to add animation individually to the elements that we want and the type of animation that we want. Let's start with the banner text, and in the div tag containing the class as call-md-12, write space wow space bounce in up. Make sure that I and U are capital. Then add one attribute data-wow-delay equals 0.2 seconds, and let me just copy this attribute because we are going to use it a lot while adding animation. So we have added animation to the banner text. Alright, now let's refresh. And before moving any further, let me show you the type of animation that you can use. Open a new tab. If you are connected to the internet, which I hope you are, open a new tab and write animate and hit enter, and the first result will be this animate.css. Open it and you can see that we have a list of the animations. You can choose either of them. So all we need to do is just see the type of animation that we want and then remember its name and use it with the element that you want to animate. So let's add feed in effect to about section. So in the main section tag containing the entire about part, just add in the class wow space feed in, and then add data-wow-delay attribute and the value as 0.5 seconds. So this will add animation to that entire about section. And adding animation to this image grid is a bit tricky because we want the images to slide one after the other and not at the same time. So to get this type of effect, we need to play around with data-wow-delay attribute. Get inside the portfolio section, scroll to the first image. In the class part, add wow space feed in left because that is the type of the animation that we want for these images. We want them to slide from left. So add this to all of the images. Alright. So all the images are sliding in together. Now let's change the delays of them. Observe that the first image in the third column is the first to slide in, then the image below it, and then the first image in the second column. So get inside the third column and in the first image add data-wow-delay attribute. Now let's write the value as 0.1 seconds because we want this image to slide in first. And then this image is going to be the second to slide in. So let's give it the value as 0.3 seconds. After that, the first image in the second column has to slide in. So let's give it delay of 0.5 seconds. And then the second image in the second column, let's give it a delay of 0.7 seconds. Then come to the first column and the first image and let's give the delay as 0.9 seconds. Alright. So in this way we are going to add delays to the rest of the images. I'm going to fast forward this part, and you can keep pausing the video at regular intervals and see the delays which I am adding to which image. Alright, so we have the desired sliding in effect for the images, and now let's move to the testimonial section. Let me just minimize this part. Then in the main section containing the testimonial, add class and the value as wow space fade in up, and that is enough. Then for the contact section, add wow space fade in, and then add data -wow -delay attribute, value as 0.6 seconds. Alright. So this completes the animation as well. So now the only thing left to do is add responsiveness by using media queries. The full screen images are scaling well, and I think we need to scale down the font size of most of the headings. So get inside the style tags again. let's start with the media queries. Write at media space screen space and space open bracket max width 768 pixels, that is the size of small screen or the SM. Then write dot close, that is the class that we have used for the close button in the full screen image viewer. And write font size as 1.5 em. Then write P, that is for the paragraph text, font size as 1 em space exclamation mark important. We write this exclamation mark important to override any font size that we have defined before this. Then S2, that is the heading tag, and font size as 1.5 em. Then dot number text, which defines the index number of the images. Then the font size as 1 em. Then the next and the previous buttons, font size as 2 em. Alright. Let's copy this entire block and paste it. And change the max width to 480 pixels. And let's change the font size of all of them. And add one more. Write dot social hyphen list and margin hyphen bottom as 15 pixels. And this is the social list icons. And we need to take care of the carousel indicator as well. It is getting behind the text in small screens. So write at media space screen space and space open bracket and max width as 630 pixels. And this is the class carousel indicators that we need to work with. Make top as 360 pixels. Alright. Still not enough. Just one more media query and it will be perfect. Let's change the max width to 525 pixels and top as 420 pixels. Alright. Let's add one more media query and hide the carousel in very small screens because it does not make any sense to display the carousel in such small screens anyway. Section hash testimonial. This will hide the entire testimonial section. So with this we have successfully completed all of the 15 videos in this video series, and if you have followed all of my videos one by one carefully, then your web page would be ready by now. If you like the video, please hit like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I am going to see you in the next video series. Till then, thanks for watching.